Hello? 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 Why is everything so dark? Oh, I know why it's so dark. It's because I haven't set up my onechunk yet. And I'm going to show you how to do that today. But before we begin, a word from today's sponsor of this video, and that is me. I'm just starting out, and I would love your support. So please consider hitting that like and subscribe button, and go give me a follow on Twitch at twitch.tv/SaulMDGaming. So one of the first things that you want to do is you want to go into the Runelite plugin and go to the plugin hub. Right here you can see all of my downloaded plugins. And you want to search for Region Gold Tracker, Region Locker, and Region Locker GPU. Before we go further, one thing I want to point out is that normally in my accounts, I like to use 117 HD. But as we can see, in order to use the Region Locker GPU, you cannot use 117 HD. So watch what happens when I enable the Region Locker GPU. And that's what turns all the chunks darker, so you know which chunk you can be in and which one you can't. It uses the different graphics, but this will turn back to being lit up a little bit later. What I'd like for you to do now is open up your browser, and I want you to search Chunk Picker V2. I'll post a link to this site in the description below. Next, we're going to click Create a New Map. For the password, you can put anything you would like. So I'm going to enter my password and click Create Map. There's your map ID code. And then you want to click this link right here, and it'll bring up a new window. Enter your password that you just entered. So make sure you remember it. And then click Unlock Map. From here, you can set up your chunk rolling method. I'm going to use roll 1, but you can read the description and choose which one you would like. For chunk rolling style, you can use basic rolling or fancy rolling. Since I plan to record most of this plus live stream it, I'm going to pick fancy rolling. And then for color scheme, I'm going to go dark mode because, let's face it, who doesn't like dark mode? So click Next. And then for your starting chunk ID, this is where we'll go back to Runelite. And if you look at these corners of the squares, you'll see their ID numbers. I'll move in a little bit so maybe you can see it a little bit easier. So there's Lumbridge, it's 12850 if you wanted to start in Lumbridge. If you wanted to start up here in Varick, you could go up to 12853 and so on. So you can choose your starting chunk based off of these numbers right here. I plan to start down here in Lumbridge. So we're going to type in 12850. Okay, so 12850. And then we'll hit all done. And you notice a green flag shows up right here on Lumbridge. So now what we want to do is we're going to go over here and pick our chunk rules. For this playthrough, I plan on going with the extreme chunker, but you can read each of these rules and just kind of look at it and see which one you like the best. So we go with extreme rules, and then we will click on Lumbridge, and then go right up here to the left and hit Pick Chunk. And it'll do the fancy roll. It's only picking Lumbridge, so eventually it'll land. And surprise, there's Lumbridge. And hit Take Me There. All right, so now we're back on Runelite, and we want to open up our plugins. And we're going to go to the region locker add-on. And under unlocked chunks, we would like to type in 12850 for Lumbridge. And then we go back, and now there's light. It's no longer dark. The chunk is no longer shaded, and it shows that we have it completely unlocked. And if you look in the distance here, you can see it's shaded back there, and shaded over here. And that's just to help us so that we don't accidentally leave this area. Now we have one more thing that we need to do before we finish up this, and that is we need to go calculate our tasks. So right up here, you'll see a button that you can click, and click it and it says calculate task. What you want to look at is where it has section 1. If we're just starting out at Lumbridge, this is all we really have access to, because we can't get up here in this corner yet. We can't get down here below in the swamp. Or you may have started in a different chunk and you have just that top corner unlocked. Or you may already have the swamp unlocked. Or if you have access to all of Lumbridge, then you can click this box. For me, starting out, I only have access here. So we're going to click section 1 and click save. And you'll see right up here, this is all my tasks to complete before we move on to the next chunk. And what's nice is it's got a little checkbox. So once I get my attack, wield a mithril weapon, I can click that and I can mark that off my list as done. And then once I hit 42 cooking, same crafting, defense, and so on. So it's a nice way to keep track of what you've done within the chunk. All right, so that should just about do it. And there you have it. You have your onechunk account set up and ready to go using the Chunk Picker V2 website. If you found this video helpful, please consider putting a like and maybe subscribing to the channel as we start our journey as a onechunk Iron Man. If I've left something off and maybe you have a tip that you would like to let other people know about, please leave a comment below. Would you like to share your onechunk map? Show us what you've been working on. Would love to see what everybody is doing and how much everybody's enjoying this way of playing Old School RuneScape. I know I'm extremely excited to be getting into the game and really grinding and learning how to be a onechunk Iron Man on onechunk Saul. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video.